What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge Live. It's Wednesday. Injury report is out. A lot of stuff happening college football wise, NIL world today. It's been a roller coaster. Appreciate you joining us, everybody. I see Monty. Appreciate it. Everybody on here, Chester. And we're going to start out with this one right here, and let's just get rolling, Jerm. I know it's a hot topic. Everyone wanted this NIL crap. Look at UNLV. There's the main problem about NIL that I was warning folks about for years. Here's the thing. This has a lot of issues to it, and it's got a lot of depth to it. And nobody knows right now if UNLV's lying or the quarterback's lying. Somebody's lying, though. Somebody's lying about how much he was getting paid. But here's my problem. Why are you doing any verbal agreement? Put it in writing. That's the first problem. Should have been in writing. And I blame both sides for that. It should be in writing. That's the way it works. Put it in writing. It's kind of silly.
And I'm going to probably look, I'm just going to warn everyone I'm pretty hyped up tonight. First, anyone who I can't stand it when Sooner fans lose a commitment and get on here and say it didn't matter. All losses matter. Now, he was a 3-star. I get that. Let me go back to the NIL thing. This is ridiculous. The Bear Alexander stuff, the UNLV stuff. I am tired of college athletes. That's what college kids getting paid money and then getting to decide whatever they want.
Hey, Jeremy,
when they want, where they want.
Real quick, Jeremy, if he was offered a certain amount and they're not paying it, what do you want him to do about it?
I don't know if that's why Bear Alexander's not playing, Jay.
I don't know. I'm not talking about Bear Alexander. I'm talking about the UNLV kid.
I think Bear Alexander just said, I don't feel like playing. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it.
Now, Bear Alexander's a different story. Chris says, Tennessee fan here, but love your guys' streams. We appreciate that nice comment. Thanks, Chris. Hey, Jeremy, here's the thing. Didn't USC know what they were getting with Bear Alexander? Was it? I mean.
Yes.
So, hey, here's what's going to happen. Mark it down, book it, bookmark this date, September 20. What is today? The 25th?
25th.
Mark it down. You can book it within this year or next year. There will be a college player sit out a playoff game and say, I'm not playing in the next game in the playoffs unless you give me this much money. Unless they start putting stuff, it's got to be in writing. Stuff has to be in writing. Contracts, it's got to go to it.
Real quick. Did BV tell Latrell to stop doing RPO or did he do it on his own? No, BV, it sounds like BV was all in on that decision. And hey, we'll get to the injury report because it's pretty significant. Tell some things, but Ron says he hears some of OU players saying the same. Do you talk to him? Now, I would assume that there's a couple of guys on that injury report that maybe you could say, yeah, that they're doing this. But hey, yeah, appendicitis, it sounds like, right, Jay?
It sounds like appendicitis. Yeah.
I kind of want to pose a question on to see what people think based on the Discord tonight.
Go for it.
I'll wait.
Let her rip.
Maybe they'll ask it themselves because I'm curious. I'm curious what people think.
Let her rip.
Hey, there's a lot of people, I think, questioning Nick Anderson, questioning Deion Burks. Deion Burks is, if you didn't see the injury report, Deion Burks is questionable soft tissue. Andrew Anthony went from probable last week to out, or I believe he's doubtful. He didn't play, but he apparently is not able to play, even though he's probable last week. BB was asked about it. He said, we have to go through some protocol. Look, I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even care to talk about the injury report. Whoever's playing is playing, and I want guys who want to play out there. I do.
Hey, real quick, DeMarco Murray, I actually think like Javante Barnes is running harder than anybody on that team. The effort and stuff. What can you do when there's absolutely no blocking? I don't think it's really, you can't really tell a whole lot. I wouldn't be surprised at that either, Sooner Freak. Or Anderson, I wouldn't be surprised at. Let's get back to the
Go ahead. Andrew Anthony has been sitting out the whole season. What do you mean he needs a bye week? He's had 4 of them.
Hey, Michael Neal's asking a question. Does anyone know what Thune is referring to when he talks about the training staff needs evaluation? I think probably this is just my opinion, kind of from it is maybe he's talking about there. If you listen to Brent Venables and some of his comments after practices and media day or media during the week, he's very frustrated with the training staff on basically coming up to him and say, this guy's going to be out of practice today. He can't practice. Maybe the evaluations, maybe the trainers are sitting guys when maybe they don't have to be set. I don't know if that's what he's talking about. I don't want to put words in Parker Thune's mouth. I'm just saying, I think they're going to evaluate everything along with that. But I don't know. I don't know what he meant by that. That's just kind of a guess.
I would love to see. I watched some more of the game, and Petaway, his route running was great the other night. Yeah, Burks is ready to go. They both need to play. Auburn does not have film on OU's offense, or at least what this one is.
Were you kind of surprised, though, that Brent Venables said the RPO stuff before a game?
It was interesting.
Like,
I don't think he cares anymore. Look, let's
talk. Real quick. Absolutely not, Okie Lawn guy. Now, are you talking about the ones that are injured? I don't know. But I'm talking the ones that are playing, they're not throwing in the towel. No.
And the guys like Petaway, they're ready to play. They're ready to rock and roll. And I know people are talking about Jackson Arnold. And I'll get to that in a second.
Hey, get to this. Let's talk about the UNLV stuff real quick. Let's just get it out there. The NIL stuff. Hey, Keaton, nobody knows yet. I've seen Ross Dillinger report something, and then I've seen another big-time reporter report something almost the exact opposite. But here's the deal. If he was promised money and he's not getting it and he's leaving, well, first, a couple things with that. If he didn't get it in writing, blame the kid. That's the agent's the kid that has the agent. Bad move. Bad move if you don't get that in writing. The other thing is this. I don't care if you're getting paid or not. That's absolutely quitting on your team.
Jay,
it's quitting. And the agent is a fraud. And we had Brian Bedford on, and this question was asked to Brian Bedford about agents and how they're going to be kind of sneaky and coming. They got to start figuring this out, this contracts and stuff, because it's no man's land. You're going to have guys pulling up before the biggest rivalry game of the year saying, I'm going to sit out this game unless I get $100,000. I mean, just wait for some of that stuff to happen. It's going to get worse and worse and worse, I think.
Yeah, third string running back followed suit.
It's not official, Philip.
We won't know until Saturday how much it is. But hey, I'm just tired. I'm so tired of these athletes that just basically say they'll do what they want, when they want, how they want, with who they want. Done with it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if guys like Beatenbow, who's been coaching for a long time, just are about done with it too.
I don't know. There's a lot of saying people coming here about Hart. Yeah, Brian, we could get him on again, I'm sure, but I saw him tweeting about the whole situation today with nothing in writing and how his first step, he teaches a class on this to parents and coaches, high school coaches, and he put this out on Twitter today. The very first thing you need to do is have legal representation. Like,
well,
I mean, so there's a lot of things that didn't go right in this situation with UNLV, and I don't know how you fix it, but UNLV has a chance to make the playoff, and they're getting ready to just be plummeted. Now, I did see that if you saw the linebacker, he kind of excited about it. He said, good, about time, let's roll. Maybe they want the backup in there. I don't know.
Listen, finally someone asked it. I was waiting for Greg God since he was bringing it up in the Discord, but could Arnold pull a UNLV? First off, let me say this. I was so ticked at the performance of Jackson Arnold. It was inept. It was pitiful. It was ridiculous. However, if he does what those guys did and says, I'm done this year, I will have lost every ounce of respect I've ever had for the guy. And listen.
Wait, real quick.
Wait. If you're on here and you think that Jackson Arnold right now should just say, I'm leaving, then I think that's a ridiculous take by you too.
Hey, real quick though, why are we talking about Jackson Arnold doing this? I'm not
because
why
of the UNLV. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. Jackson Arnold might be needed Saturday.
Why are we talking about Jackson Arnold pulling a UNLV? Why?
Someone asked it, so I'm responding.
Well, that
And
didn't
he's
even
not
brought
the
up. I
first
mean,
one to ask it. He's not the first one to ask it.
why would we even bring that up? I don't understand.
For the people who are questioning, like, if Jackson Arnold is bought in, in my opinion, I think he's very, very ticked off at how he played. He's embarrassed.
Hey, the hub. I think you're wrong on this, actually, because I think the majority of players, I'm not saying all of them, I think at the big time schools, I think they have things in writing of what you have to do to earn the money. I don't think UNLV did. I think a lot of schools do.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I agree, Jay. Hey, I'll tell you why. Great guy. Jackson Arnold, if Hawkins were to go down, and I hope he doesn't, I think Jackson Arnold probably is the guy that goes in.
Hey,
whether you like it or not, it's probably going to happen.
Hey, a couple of things. First, Monty, I agree with you on this, but here's the thing. I mentioned it last night. Bill Bedenbaugh is in his third offensive coordinator in the last 5 years. Maybe he's just like, this is a lot. I want to get to Tyler's real quick, and then you can get to that one. Tyler said, Brennan Marion is rumored to be the coach that told the UNLV quarterback he'd get $100K. I saw that on Twitter as well. The fact of the matter is, Tyler, I have no clue what to believe. I will say this. I think Barry Odom's a pretty straight up dude and the coach of UNLV. So a lot of this, but here's the thing, these collectives, a lot of times the coaches don't have a whole lot to do with it, right?
I agree, Jay. And hey, I can still say Jackson Arnold might play over Casey Thompson. I don't know who they would play. But hey, I'm going to say this. Okie Lawn guy. He may never play it down as a Sooner. But I also don't think he should. I think the people who want him to leave right now are ridiculous. You don't say I don't know football. If you want him to leave right now, you're ridiculous.
Hey, I heard a crazy stat today online. And then I kind of looked up. I think it's a little bit wrong, but I heard this stat today. It was talking about 5-star quarterbacks at Oklahoma. There's only one that had a 5-star that started his career at Oklahoma and completed it. Now, I think this guy was a composite 4-star, but you would never guess who it is.
Blake Bell.
You're right. How'd you know?
I actually heard it on the radio the other day, and Sooner fan just put it in there. I didn't know it was that highly. His star rating was that high.
But all the rest of the 5-stars, maybe some of them lasted a year. I mean, it's just crazy. OU has not recruited 5-star quarterbacks very well. They've been wrong a lot of them.
Hey, I'm going to give you another name. I don't want to sit here and talk about this all day, but Bo Nix was absolutely pathetic for 2 years at Auburn. Like, I'm talking about embarrassment. Just remember that.
Hey, and let me ask Aaron something, because I got an intriguing thing here. I would agree with you on that, but here's the thing. What if he's already been offered a bunch of money and that's why he's doing this? Yeah. What if another school already tampered and offered him money to sit out?
I don't even know why we're talking about UNLV.
I'm just saying. I agree, Boomer. You can go through every position group on the team. They all have a coach except quarterback. There's a kicker coach. There's a tight end coach. There's a running back coach. There's a wide receiver coach. There's an O-line coach. There's a tight end coach. There's not a quarterback coach. That's kind of interesting.
Hey, I some of these comments, and here's one. No, I haven't heard that. People talk about ridiculous things.
And hey, if that, first off, I'm trying to read the name. I can't read it. Have y'all, if he's doing, I mean, I'm not putting any rumors out there of anybody doing that. That'd be absolutely wild, and that'd be crazy. I don't think that happened. And I think this is dead on. 5.0 King, you are dead on with this. If I was Jackson Arnold, I would be planning my transfer just to get better developed. I would be looking. Here's the thing. If you're a 5-star quarterback, that's what he needs to go somewhere where he's going to be developed. Guys, I don't want to wake anybody up to anything shocking, but I'm not sure there's a coach on this Oklahoma team that's going to develop quarterbacks that great.
There's not, Jay.
Not that I know of. I mean, maybe I'm
Hey, I
wrong.
did see
Maybe
Chris.
I'm wrong, and Seth Detroit will end up being the greatest quarterback whisperer ever. But
Hey, I saw an article about Casey Thompson, and BV said that Casey Thompson's already been Arnold's ear saying, you're one play away from being back in there and having to do this. Thompson's a great. I like Casey Thompson. I don't mind if Casey Thompson's given a chance. But I also want Jackson Arnold to finish the year as a Sooner and be a good teammate.
Real quick,
And
the
if
Hub
you
says,
don't, you're wrong.
real quick, the Hub says, do they have it in writing, Jay? I've never heard that. I know for a fact from an actual parent of a kid that they put stuff in writing on NIL. Okay? They put it in writing and what you have to meet to get whatever money it is. I'm just saying, there are ways to do it the right way. I think a lot of schools do it the right way. There are some schools that probably don't, and it's a wide world. NCAA is. It's wild. It's crazy. But I think some schools are doing it right, and I think some schools probably aren't.
Yeah. And Greg God, to answer your question, if Casey Thompson is 100% healthy, which we don't even know, no one ever talks about him, I would have to see who's been running with most of the snaps at practice. That's who you'd go with as the backup. I'm not at practice, so I would love Casey Thompson to have a chance. But your take earlier, Gray God, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said you think Jackson Arnold should do what all these other guys are doing and just go ahead and leave midseason. Bad take. To me, that's quitting. That's quitting. I don't like it when guys do that.
Hey, and Famone Roster's correct on this. You cannot have bad quarterback play and win in the SEC. Hook 'em horns. Quarterback development is why Arch is okay being the backup. I agree. I have said for years. In fact, if you go back to when OU was dominating at the quarterback position, well, mainly when Lincoln Riley was there, go look at Kyler Murray. He was okay sitting. How many years did he play at Oklahoma? 1 year. What pick was he drafted? Number 1. You only need a good year to be a number 1 draft pick if you're developed right. And I think Hookham is dead on. Arch can play 1 year at Texas. He can set up for 3 years, play 1 year. He could go be the number 1 draft pick. I mean,
Jay, there's been a lot of guys that have been benched that came back and were elite.
Okay, but why are we even? I don't even know.
I don't know. That's what. Hey, well, Everett plays not listen. Neither is Hickman.
Well, if you watch the breakdown, if you watch Oklahoma breakdown, Gabe said that Troy Everett was the best lineman last week in warmups. Said that he looked the best by far.
I think he should be center.
And move Hickman to guard?
Move Hickman to left bench.
Is there a left bench and a right bench?
Yeah, Tarkman's on right bench.
Next topic. What do you want to talk about, Jim? What's on your mind tonight? Yeah, Sooner fan, it happens all the time. There's guys that look at Tom Brady. I mean, it's not like he just.
Jalen Hurts was benched.
Yeah.
In the championship game. Why do we need to get someone on this? I don't know.
Just not USC. Yeah, if he goes to USC. I don't know. What does he want? What do you want to talk about? I mean, what else do y'all want to talk about?
Let's get into the Auburn game. It's 3 days away.
Let's go. The weather's going to be a factor. Sounds like.
I saw in the Discord, I think Hunter said it. Maybe you said it too, Jay. People are thinking, if this is a mud fest, OU's in trouble. I'm not sure on that.
But did you know this stat? I thought this stat was kind of interesting, Nate. Auburn leads the nation in explosive plays. You wouldn't think that. You wouldn't think that.
No, but Jay, if it's a mud fest, Auburn's going to have a hard time moving the ball at all on OU, just running the ball. And at least OU has Hawkins who can maybe do some things.
Yeah. The thing is, I think
OU's rush defense? What's OU's rush defense?
Overall rush defense, I think it's like, I want to say 7 or 10, maybe. I don't know. I can't
Hunter
remember.
dropped theirs as top 50, which I think OU's is way better than that.
Hey, here's the thing, though. Auburn has put up a ton of yards. They average like 400 or 500 yards, 410 yards a game, maybe. They put up yardage. They turn it over way too much. That's been their Achilles heel.
Their quarterback's been bad.
Their quarterback's been bad. You got to try to get some turnovers against him. They've moved the ball on some teams, but
Jay, would you expect anything less? Hugh Freeze is good.
he's a great offensive mind. I agree with you on that. But I mean, how many points do you think OU needs to score to win this game? Realistically, like what would you say gets them there?
They should win it with 24.
I was going to say they should win with 20.
Not sure on that. I'd say 20.
You think Auburn just scored 20 on that? Then you can't say this defense is top 3 in the SEC.
You don't know if the offense is giving them the ball yet, Jay. Like, it's ridiculous.
One more than Auburn. Tonight? That's right. One more than Auburn. They got to get the win and get out of there, and then have the bye week for Texas. That's what you got to have happen.
Yeah, it's again. We could sit here, and I'm going to bring something else. Here we go. I guess I'm ready for it, Jay. I'm ready. There's something I want to talk about tonight.
What is it?
Let me have my minute.
All right, 1 minute on the clock.
Let me get a sip. I'm tired. I got to get.
Are you drinking coffee?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Here's what I'm going to say. No, topics not DG.
Topics
good.
Not. Ding, 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 ding.
Arnold.
Hey, do you want me to? I got a timer. Do you want me to set it for a minute?
Sure.
All right, hang on. Let me get the minute going. You can have your little time.
Give me a minute so I can give me a minute to rant a little. By the way, and I'm not ready yet. DG did talk about what BB said, but I'm not talking about that. I don't care about DG right now.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
I've seen a narrative on Twitter by fans, by I guess you could say people who follow, who watch OU every single week. I am sick and tired of people saying, well, the defense, they just kind of beat up on the offense, and this offense, you know, they've been practicing too hard. What? If anyone is saying that, I have no patience for people who, what do you want? I guess OU should just be going through the motions. Every day should be a walkthrough. And I know there are teams that are doing that, Jay. Every day should just be a walkthrough. Let's take it real easy. Let's not hit anyone. I hate it. Guess what? OU's defense is hitting people this year. I think it's because they're hitting people in practice.
I don't see a problem with hitting people in practice. I don't understand it. I don't understand.
Look at the narrative all over Twitter.
No, I think the narrative.
Fans everywhere are saying, "Dadgum defense. You guys hurt our offense. There's no confidence in this group. We just don't have any confidence because the defense beat up on us."
Yeah, I don't like the Hick. I don't like the Hick voice, the bomb. I know you do, but hey, Jern, I have not seen anybody. I think people are saying they've whipped up on the offensive practice. What's that to do with anything? They probably have been. Have you seen the offense play? I'm sure the defense is whipping them in practice. Are they not?
Yeah. Hey, and Greg God. Yeah.
I don't understand.
Just like under Lincoln Riley, when they didn't tackle in practice, and guess what they didn't do in the game? They didn't tackle in the game either.
Hey, all I got to, and Chris said he's heard the same thing. Here's what I got to say. For anybody that wants the old Lincoln Riley ways where they don't tackle in practice, why? Here's what needs to happen. Offense just got to get tougher if that's the case. I mean, if they're going to go ones-on-ones, iron sharpens iron, man up. Offense, get up there and be ready to play.
Hey, Greg God, I just can't.
I agree, Jason. I agree with that comment for sure. Nowhere near.
I don't want Bear Alexander near Norman either. Hey, yeah, OU wasn't a playoffs. It wasn't because of the tackling. They would have been national champions if they had hit in practice.
Hey, I think you're. Hey, Famone roster. I think you're wrong here. I think they've done a lot of ones-on-ones.
They have done a lot of ones-on-ones, according to everyone that's been following them.
Listening to BV talk, I think he said they go one-on-one to try to make the offense better because they've been struggling. He wants to see everything they could see in the game.
So, Greg God, let me get something right. Greg God, correct me if I'm wrong. You want guys to leave in the middle of the year if they don't play. Just say, hey, I'm done with it. Let me out of the locker room. And you don't want to hit at practice. That sounds pretty weak.
Yeah, that would be weird.
I'm sorry, but I've coached for 20 years. I've been around athletes. That is not my expectation for a player. Hey, when things get hard, just leave. If we bench you, just leave. And by the way,
Yeah.
at practice, guys, let's just stretch. Let's ice and stretch and just watch some tape, maybe go through the motions. I would never do that at practice.
No, and I don't think many of the top echelon schools do that.
How is Jackson Arnold a major distraction?
Yeah, I don't know. How is Woody a distraction? Because he
Woody's
got
a leader on defense.
Wait, Greg God, are you saying if a guy gets beat deep, he's a distraction?
Wow.
Now I think let me go here for a second. I think I know what Greg God's saying. Let me see if I can clarify this before we get to some more comments. I think what he's saying is this: if Woody's not your best defensive back and you're not playing the best defensive back, does that rub up on teammates who knows he's not the best defensive back? For instance, if Jackson Arnold doesn't look like the best quarterback in practice, I have played on teams before. Teammates know who the best quarterback is. So if he's saying that it's a distraction because all the teammates think Michael Hawkins is better because they've seen it in practice and Arnold's playing, then he's saying that's a distraction.
That is bad teammates. It's not on Jackson Arnold or Woody Washington.
Jeremy, I think you're a little silly here. Have you not you've played sports? You've played sports.
Yes,
No. I've played on the same team as you, Jeremy. And I remember playing on the same team with you in baseball, and you would even think, why are they throwing this guy out there starting today? Should have went with the other guy. It creeps into your mind.
It's not the fault of the player.
I agree it's not Jackson Arnold's fault.
So he's not a distraction. That would be the coaches who are the distraction, not Jackson Arnold.
I agree with you. I'm just saying distraction. I'm not saying Jackson Arnold's the cause of it.
I don't care. I'm not talking anymore about whether or not Jackson Arnold's a distraction based on someone's opinion for some dumb reason.
And I think, and I was going to get to this. I didn't finish before you kept going. It should not affect the player's play. And Drew's right about that. You can, and
that's a horrible take, Jay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to round up and say at the end is that even if you thought another guy should be starting, it's not going to affect your play. You're going to go out there and play to the best of your ability. If not, I think that's weak by any player who's not going to, it's going to affect their play. It should not affect their play. Now, if you want to say it could cause a distraction by people talking, it does not affect play, though.
But my point is the player's not the distraction.
No. And I'm not piling on Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold deserved to be benched. He probably knows that. He wasn't playing.
You think he's walking around strutting saying, hey, I get paid. I'm awesome. No,
he wants to play.
Like, I don't understand it. I absolutely don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me.
The NIL stuff, guys and
it's
gals.
Affecting every player everywhere.
I don't know if it's affecting. Where would you say NIL has affected Oklahoma? How they've handled it? I mean, I think that's an issue. I don't think Jackson Arnold's dividing the locker room 5.0.
That's why I want to put a stop to it. Stop acting like there's people acting like Jackson Arnold's a distraction when he played a horrible game. Period. That was it. He's not a bad teammate. I think he's a great teammate. I think he's going to stick things out. I don't understand it, and that's why I wanted to get on here and just put a stop to some of that stuff.
Yeah, and I say this too. The whole thing about Jackson Arnold, he had the offensive line did not help him at all. So there's a lot of things. And Dalpost, NIL affects everybody. I hate NIL. NIL's here. It's not going anywhere. If you handle it right, it's not a bad thing. It's got to be handled right, though. Do not associate Oklahoma with UNLV right now on NIL. Totally different programs. Totally different.
I don't love the NIL. Okie Lawn guy, I'm not in the locker room, but I'm just saying I've heard players, I've heard other people. I understand his body language Saturday. He was embarrassed, I think. He basically blinded by how bad it was. But
Troy?
I don't know if he is, okay? I don't know Okie Lawn guy, but same reason. How do you know he's bad? Okay, let's just say
that. real quick, Troy, I agree. Left guard, LeBear. This is the last comment I'm going to take on this, and he's dead on. Dead on.
That's all my point is. I agree
No
with
one, not one person, even Jack, nobody's heard him say anything to be a distraction. Let's stop with it. Why are we even talking about it?
It's dumb. It's ridiculous.
Now, if you want to say he didn't play very good, go for it.
Absolutely can. Absolutely can. And I think he's going to play great somewhere else.
Playing horrible is a distraction, Dub says.
I can get behind some of that, Jay. Let's talk about, is there anything that we're going to see Saturday different, Jay, besides players? Are we going to see anything schematically different from Seth Luttrell?
Schematically?
Yeah, play-wise.
I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of the same stuff. Hopefully it looks better with Michael Hawkins in there. Muddy uniforms, that's what you'll see. I just don't know. I mean, just looking at it as a fan, I'm not sure offensively what playmakers like to have explode. What you need to see is two things. You need to see a better running game, which if you watched Arkansas against Auburn, they ran green a lot at quarterback. I think you have to do it with Mike Hawkins. You have to do it. The other thing is this. You needed some explosive plays down the field. I don't know how you do it right now with this offense, but you got to get some of the receivers some separation. And Auburn plays a lot of man defense on the outsides. You got to go win your battle and try to get some explosive plays down the field.
Listen,
and hopefully more Petaway, less Thompson. I agree.
I agree with you, Greg God. More Petaway, less Thompson.
I agree.
And listen, let me just touch on this real quick because I know Hunter, for one, was in on this. To me, my personal opinion, you can't judge Jackson Arnold's body language in that game. If this week he's like that, then I would say, okay, guys, he was blindsided with how bad he played. If you ask him that, I'm sure he's going to say that. I don't understand that.
The whole moping around. If anybody who says that he was moping around and that's a bad attitude, then you've never played sports in your life. Sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry, Hunter. If you're saying that, you've never played a sport in your life. Because I've played plenty of sports and I've made errors and screwed up. And the first thing I do is put my head down and mope around. And I know it's not a great attitude to have, but I'm disappointed in myself for making mistakes. And you can mope around. That does not mean you want the team to fail. I'm disappointed that I let the team down. And maybe that's what Jackson Arnold's feeling. He's disappointed he played so bad in the biggest game of the year with 3 turnovers in one half.
If this week he were to show something like that, I could say, okay, I get it. But you can't judge on the night of the game when he played. He was hoping that was going to be his highlight reel. And then
Crackermack, your body language is going to be terrible when you're playing that bad.
It wasn't terrible when he
do
was
you want him to throw? Do you want him to throw the turnover and be like, let's go, guys, let's get it going? I mean, I don't know what you want to see out of that. I really don't get it.
Yeah, he was clearly.
Yeah, pissed at his performance. He was mad. That's the way you should react.
Shock. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, hey, Hub, going to mope around, go get on the bus.
At least he cared. Hey, at least Jackson Arnold cared.
I'm just saying, what do you want him to do? Like rally the troops or something? Maybe that's what people want him to do. And that's what Chuck says. And I would agree with this. After he got pulled, maybe to go up to the other Michael Hawkins and be like, let's go get it.
I saw a couple times.
That would be good. That would be good if he would.
Hawkins' ear a couple times.
Okay, well, I didn't see that. So
this is a fact. People just want to say things. No one here was on the sideline. No one followed his motion all the way down the sideline, unless you're at the game and that's all you did was watch him. I mean, where the TV didn't show it much. Hey, let's say Burks can go. Who should the other two? In my opinion, Petaway has to start. And I think Zion Kearney for me.
Kearney hasn't played at all.
He played against Tennessee.
Not much.
He didn't get the ball thrown to him, but he played.
I think they're going to go with. I would like to see Petaway. I agree.
Chuck saw him go encourage Hawkins. So again, it's just people want to. Oh, Jacoby. Yeah, I want to see Jacoby Johnson.
He's not starting though. He's not starting.
He might. He's 6'2".
Hey, I will say, and Keaton brings it up. Kearney was blocking really good. And that's what they've lacked at
He's
the
the
outside.
best blocking receiver they got.
He's got size, too. I mean,
I want Kearney more than Reagans and Thompson as well.
hey, one thing we haven't talked about, I think we need to get on there. First off, got 320 people on here. Check out the Fan Stop, www.thefanstop.com. This is a fan channel sponsored by the Fan Stop. Make sure you check it out. They got officially licensed OU gear, along with other schools. But use code Surge, you'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Go check them out. Thefanstop.com. Hey, one thing we haven't talked about is another decommitment on the defensive line. I know earlier you mentioned, you said you didn't really, you don't like when people say he's a 3-star, who cares? Guys, this was a big commitment for Oklahoma when they got him. It does hurt. This is 2 defensive linemen now in the last week and a half. That's concerning. Now, I know a lot of people will say, well, Oklahoma lost. They didn't look good in their first SEC game. But the defense is playing great. So I don't really understand that on why the 2 commitments. And you look at 2 with Todd Bates and his development of the D linemen. Some of those guys have gotten better, quite a bit better. Look at Grayson Halton. So I don't understand it. I don't know that. I'm not an insider. I don't follow recruiting that closely. It's disappointing because now your recruiting class is dropping and you need to finish strong somehow. You're going to have to go get somebody else. You can't lose 2 defensive linemen and not replace them with 1 more at least.
Drew, I agree. Fast pace, roll out, get him out of the pocket, get him running some, hitting short pass, taking deep shots. Any offense that has Reagans blocking is done. Any offense that has Zion Reagans, Brennan Thompson, and Deion Burks blocking, I don't know how I should even finish the sentence. I mean, I don't know. 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing. That's the line from Rudy.
That's from Rudy. Hey, Corrections 101 says Lehman during the game podcast, who was on the sideline, said Jackson was on the iPad with Hawkins between the series, being a good teammate. So Lehman's up in the booth, but I think he was getting it reported from probably Chris Plank. So that's what I'm saying. That's how things.
So everyone else can stop bashing a kid when you don't know what you're talking about.
Anybody we can flip. I don't know the names of them. Like I said, I don't follow as close as others. Anybody, you can flip anybody in the nation, Gary. There's no, not till signing day does it change. You know what, though? You know a guy I would have loved to have had? He looks so good, and I thought OU was going to get him. Caden Durham, running back, man. He looks, at LSU, he's putting up.
He does.
He looks really good, man.
Listen, the jury is out, Ron. BB, not a good CEO. Well, to me, the CEO is doing what he needs to do. He's getting all over the offense. He made changes last year with Ruth. I think you got to give him a second. This is not what he had planned in the cards.
I think
I agree with Space and Blake Horton. Devon Mitchell needs to be out there this week. He's got to get at least a series.
Hey, real quick, couple things. I saw a couple people say this, the Hub and Chuck. Guys, if the offense doesn't start looking like an offense, I think they would lose not just O-linemen, other recruits. You go to an offense to put up points and shine because you want to get to the next level. If you're a wide receiver right now, and unless Hawkins starts throwing for a lot of yards, what in this offense excites you? Because they haven't put up 200 yards passing in 4 games. So if that's, say that's the coordinator. I don't know what people say, if it's the quarterback or the coordinator. If it's the coordinator, these recruits, nobody knows if he's coming back next year or not. So it could definitely affect recruiting on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, for sure.
Eli's going to get a lot of time, it sounds like. I do want to see Devon Mitchell at least for a series. And I saw the comment about, BV should have seen it, should have been very clear. No one thought Jackson Arnold was going to be as bad as he was the other night.
No,
that's a fact.
Jeremy, that may be a fact.
It is a fact. No one thought he was going to be that bad.
But Jeremy, I think you could probably see it in practice, couldn't you?
Jay, I don't know what you can see in practice. I'm not at practice. I'm not going to sit here and speculate.
But you could have seen it after the Houston game, could you not have? 2 games in?
Hey, Greg God, you're wrong too, because you didn't think he was going to be that bad.
Hey, but after the Houston game, don't you think OU probably should have went ahead and started playing during the Houston game, started giving Hawkins some reps?
Yeah, possibly, Jay. I'm not saying they shouldn't have. And then Tulane, he had the pick six and came back and scrambled for the touchdown. I think they thought, we'll find out on Tennessee if this guy can step up or not. He did it, and they yanked him. They yanked him
Big
too late.
orange. Big
They yanked
orange.
him too late, but they yanked him. And Greg God, I guess, go ahead, Greg God. You should be coaching somewhere. I didn't know you were that much of a talent guy. I was wrong on him. You were absolutely right. You thought he was going to be as bad as he was against Tennessee. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Most people thought he would be good, Jeremy. I don't think anyone disagrees with you. Big Orange says, do y'all think Alabama and Georgia both humbled Tennessee, or do they both knock Tennessee out in the ring? I think Tennessee beats Alabama and loses to Georgia.
Beats Alabama. Yeah.
I think Alabama's at home and Georgia's on the road. That's what I would pick right now. I think Tennessee probably loses one game this year. That's what I got him going right now.
Yeah.
Need to throw more NIL money at the offense. BV is definitely tired. He said it so many times this week. I'm tired of seeing the same things over and over again. He said it again today on the teleconference. He's not happy about it. I've heard rumors about him all day on Sunday, only on the offensive side of the ball, watching every move they make over there. So
I'm not sure I'm putting words in people's mouths. I said no one knew he was going to be that bad. No one thought he was going to be that bad. And the comment was, I did. So I gave you kudos for it. That's not putting words in your mouth. That's pretty impressive. If anyone thought Arnold was going to be that bad, they ought to. Dionne Warwick should have lost her job, because you should be the psychic helpline.
Yeah, that might be a curse if Colin Cowherd picked him to win the national championship. Yeah, and I agree with this a little bit. For as bad as OU played, to lose by 10 is kind of wild. I mean, that's kind of wild. They played awful. Well, that was only because of the defense, though. Eventually, that defense is going to have some help.
Hey, I wouldn't discount DeBoer either. I think DeBoer is awesome. I love the hire. I know Jay did it. I loved it. Clark, I agree with you. Jackson Arnold has made bad decisions all the time. I mean, he's made bad decisions. It's been the worst thing about him. And it's not just when he throws picks. It was also on RPOs. And I agree, Greg God. We don't need to talk about it. Hawkins is the guy, and I can't wait to see him Saturday. I'm excited about it. I love his quick release. I love that he rolls out. I love that he makes quick decisions. I love Michael Hawkins getting a chance to be the guy and taking it and running with it. I absolutely love it.
Some are green saying didn't think it would be this bad. Kenneth says he told you it would be.
You could say he wasn't ready. I get that, but no one thought it was going to be as bad as it was against Tennessee. It went way downhill quickly. They had 101 yards in the first quarter.
Hey, and
then
real quick,
he just imploded.
Let me get the Shakurs thing here, and I heard a lot of this too. Okay, I've heard a lot of. But here's the fact of the matter: there were plenty of people that went to scrimmages and then did a podcast and reported how good Michael Hawkins left. Yet looked, but yet those same people said it's Arnold's team. I think what it was is they were going to give Arnold a chance to basically prove that he couldn't do it on the games, and I think they just waited about a game too late to pull him. I think they were giving him a chance.
So they probably thought, let's see what he does against Tennessee.
And he just didn't perform, so it's time. And, hey, I'll give it up to Brent Venables for not messing around after that game. He came out on his show, his coach's show, and said, Hawkins is the guy. There was no, we're going to still have an open competition. I'll give BV credit for that. BV knows this is the SEC. I'm in year 3. I cannot go out have a 5-7 year. We need to make changes ASAP. This season, a lot is still in front of Oklahoma, but they got to get a lot better.
Let me ask everyone in the chat this right now. So last week, Sexton at left tackle, Ozida at left guard, Hickman at center, Fabechi at right guard, Michael Tarquin at right tackle. Just like the old Price is Right game. Let's go over. You got to run over there, move the products, switch them, and get them in the right spot. Do you think that those 5, Jay, are the 5 that should be out there or will be out there come Saturday? Because in my opinion, I'm going to do a little switcheroo. But I'm curious what you guys think in the chat. I'm doing a switcheroo. What are you doing, Jay?
I think they're going to try to keep this offensive line somewhat similar to what they played with. The only difference would be
Absolutely not.
Everett. I
Dow
think
Post, the 5 last week. Left tackle Sexton.
he's
Left
staying.
guard
He's staying.
Azida.
Wait, go one by one. He's staying.
Sexton will stay left tackle.
Yes.
Left guard Azida.
I think it might be Everett.
I think Everett's going to be the center.
And then
Here's what I got, Jay. Here's what I got that I hope they do. I don't know if Fabechi can play either side on guard or if EPL can, but if I'm starting on Saturday with Michael Hawkins, I got Sexton at left tackle. I got EPL at a guard. I got Everett at center. I got Fabechi at the other guard. And you ready for it? I got a Zyder or Taylor at the other tackle.
Ozide is not playing right tackle. Wake up. He's not playing right tackle. Here's what I would go. Here's what I would go with. I would go with Sexton, Everett, Hickman.
Why Hickman?
Or Bates. I'm not switching and putting Everett in there. Everett hasn't
No one's
played in a
talking
year and a
about
half.
Eugene Brooks. What about Eugene Brooks?
No, not right now. And then I would go Fabechi, and then at right tackle, the only thing you could do at right tackle is if Tarquin, if Taylor could go, you could play him over Tarquin. But I think the more important thing with this offensive line is you got to get some consistency and guys communicating at each other.
Gray God kind of has what you did. It's just Everett in for Azida, and that's it.
I think that's what they're going to go with. I think they're going to try to see a week of consistency and see if it helps, if I had to guess. That's what I would do. I think right now the consistency thing, if you look at and now there are a lot of problems where they don't blow people off the ball, I get it. But the more of the problem is when they don't communicate. So I think they're going to try to get more communication. You get a veteran left guard in Everett with Hickman, a veteran center, and you get Fabechi on the right guard. That means your middle is all veterans. I think that would help.
There was a little bit better pass protection in the second half of that game. And they hadn't made any changes, if you noticed. There weren't really a lot of changes.
And I agree with Ricky here. That was his first game back after injury. Give him another game, see what he does. Now, Everett's not the biggest. We all know that. He's not like a huge guard. He's kind of undersized a little bit, but if he's got the technique and he's got the communication part of it, that'll help.
If Brent Venables said, I'm sick and tired of seeing the same thing over and over again, surely the only position that's changing is just not the quarterback.
Hey, and Drew says, look what Heupel did his first years at Tennessee with the trash O-line. I agree, but Heupel's offense and Seth Luttrell's offense are not even close to being the same thing.
No.
I'm still in game 5. I don't know what Seth Luttrell's running. Do you?
No.
I
can't tell you what it is. Now, listen, Taylor Tatum's got a concussion. He's doubtful. I don't foresee him playing at all. That means when you go 2-back set, it's Sawchuk and Barnes or Barnes and Franklin, or is this the week Caleb Hicks gets on the field?
Yeah, you're right on this, Dalpos. And then also I saw the comment on Drew is absolutely right. You got to roll out Hawkins. They should have been doing it with Jackson Arnold. Every time he rolled out, he looked a lot better. But hey, Seth, real quick, make sure if they're right-handed, let's not roll them out to the left-hand side with nobody over there to throw to. Kind of setting it up for failure.
Or, Jay, when you do roll out, there should be guys running routes. Hey, I was going to get to something, Jay, about receiving core. To me, Ivan Carry-On. Look, again, Brent Venables said he's sick of seeing the same thing. Then why is Bauer Sharp still trotting out there every play?
Well, I would have thought Caden Helms would have. I mean, is he just not it?
Anybody.
Oh, I know.
If we're sick and tired of seeing the same stuff over and over again, why?
Hey, who would have been
Sharp playing 95% of the snaps?
And this is another thing I want to get to is Joe John Finley. Okay, Joe John Finley. He got Devon Mitchell, and that kind of saved him because he hasn't gotten anybody. Let me bring up a name that should be playing in Norman, or could be. Luke Haas. Right down the road in Arkansas right now, really good player,
Bixby.
tight end,
Bixby.
out of Oklahoma, out of Bigsby, and he went to Arkansas. And I know his parents went to Arkansas, but you had a good chance of getting him. And I don't think him and Joe John Finley had a great relationship.
He couldn't
Nate
land Nate
Roberts,
Roberts. He couldn't.
another one.
Nate Roberts going to Ohio State, even though his brother plays at OU.
Exactly. Okay, so I look at this offensive staff, and I'm just like Joe John Finley. He's the co-OC. Like if you go back to last year, I think you included a lot of people when that happened. He was co-OC. A lot of people said, "I'm surprised they gave it to him."
Yeah, Jay. There's been no development at tight end position. Aaron says this team isn't built for the RPO. Bangladesh, I have to say this. That is so weak of the O-line if that's the case.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think that's weak too.
I don't want those guys playing then.
Well, and Jason says Finley and Latrell panic hires do not lose weapons. Which weapons?
Arnold is what they're saying. It turned out not to be a weapon.
What do you mean there, Chuck? The Nate Roberts you can't hold against him. They took the Vegas odds and they were right. I'm confused on that one.
Jackson, I get rallying behind someone. They need to
Yes,
spark.
I get that.
But to say that they're going to play for him and they isn't, the implication is you're implying they weren't playing for the other guy, and I don't like that. That's bad.
Hey, if they do less RPOs, which I'm fine with, run pass options, that's fine. But you know what? They probably need to do more of are run options where he can either hand it or pull it. They need to do a lot of those with Michael Hawkins. Get him on the edge. Get him on the edge.
Tatted Sailor's been active in the Discord lately. We all try to be. You can join the Sooner Surge Unlimited membership and get on the Discord. Links in the description. But he played right tackle. And hey, Burke, run the dang ball. Can they, though? Can they?
That's right. No RPO. Why not a two-back set?
They started in it. They started in it against Tennessee.
The first drive was two-back set. They did it multiple times last game. So,
yeah.
What
How about Luke Haas to Tennessee? There is too much on the RPO. If you don't know what you're doing, what it does. I'll say this: RPO can be really good, but what it takes out is aggression.
Yeah, and I see people saying they need that boost of energy or whatever. I think this team may need more than anything a road game. I think it could be good for this team.
We're going to find out a lot if they're all together or if they're not.
People were saying like it could come to Norman. I was like, please no. This team needs to get on the road.
Go to Norman, Jay.
No, it's too late for that. Need to get on the road and kind of bond and have
OU leaving early, Jay?
I don't know, Jeremy.
Colorado's leaving to Florida today. They left because of the weather, impending weather.
When you're not ready to mute me in a Discord, hey, if Auburn beats OU, does OU win any of the games besides? Here's what I'll say, and I'll say this till the end of the year. I think with OU's defense, there is going to be every game they play could be within 10 points. Now, there's games like Ole Miss, they could still blow them out. But what I'm saying is, even if you were to lose Auburn, I think the defense is good enough. If you start getting, there's going to be a lot of close games this year. Everybody knew it before the year. And fact of the matter is, Brent Venables, they haven't been good in close games. And you're going to have a season when you're done with it, and they could either be 5-7 or 7-5. It's 2 or 3 game difference based on close games. And it's going to depend on the offense, period, bar none, I think, in my opinion. The offense, let's just hope Hawkins gets out there. They look a lot better offensively. And then you go beat Auburn, look good doing it, win by double digits even. And then you got a bye week and then Texas. And maybe you could reset your season then. You could possibly, if the offense looks better and maybe Seth Luttrell looks like he actually can call some plays with Michael Hawkins, and then you roll with it.
Yeah, look, Luke Haas's dad played at Arkansas, right?
That's what I said, alma mater, yeah.
So it has nothing, in my opinion, to do with it.
No, but I don't think him and Joe John had a great relationship. I didn't
say they did. Chris says a road trip, backs up against the wall, us against the world mentality might just be what OU needs. And
I think it is. I think it is.
And I think Chris is a Tennessee fan.
And this is the big one. And Auburn and Oklahoma are both saying that tonight. They're saying we can't turn the ball over because both those teams, that's the problem is.
Jay.
Yeah.
His dad played at Tulsa.
I thought he had connections to Arkansas.
And I do remember the crazy story, Jay, that I've heard. That's I just now recalled that. But hey, yeah, they didn't love Joe John. He loved Riley. His whole family are Razorbacks, with brother getting a
maybe that's what I was thinking. Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Dylan has, right? What's more brutal, our offensive, I guess, production or our schedule? Man.
See, Jackson said parents are Arkansas alums. I kind of thought that, but I'm not.
Hey.
How does a blue blood program not have a quarterback coach?
They do, Jay. They're the two. I wouldn't consider them a QB coach, but that's what they are.
No, they're analysts.
What? Right. That's what's your thoughts, Jay, on the Kamari Moore stuff?
And maybe it wasn't his parents. Maybe it was his sister.
It may have been. I don't know.
I don't know.
Jay, what about the Moore stuff? What do you have to say on that?
Well, it hurts. I mean, what else do you want me to say? It's a second defensive lineman in a week and a half that's decommitted. I don't think it's good. Anytime anybody decommits from your school, it's not good. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
And
Greg got to quit recruiting Missouri.
And I know the school he was at least some, I believe, right? With all the issues they've had with them, some of those kids. Lossman is coaching quarterbacks, but he's not a coach. He's an analyst they don't have. I think what we're saying is you have a wide receiver coach, you have a running back coach, you have a tight end coach, you have an O-line coach, you have a quarterback analyst. I think that's what people are saying. You don't have a quarterback coach. Maybe I misunderstood that. I think that's what people are saying though.
You get 10 total coaches. They can pretty much all be. The analyst rule has changed a little bit.
And that's true. Michael's, and I'm glad you brought that up because I had forgotten that. Michael,
but
thanks for pointing that out.
Is JP Lossman a quarterback guru, Jay, in your opinion?
No, but yeah, and Michael, I'm glad you pointed that out because I do remember that now. So they can coach. Thanks for correcting me on that. I appreciate that. I was off base on that.
That is the quarterback coach. That's what he's listed as. That's what he's listed as.
And I understand that Deuce Durrell, he's good 2026, but they need another defensive guy for 2025, in my opinion, because they just lost 2. Now, you've seen it before where players decommit from a school and then end up there, a.k.a. one of the best wide receivers to come out of Oklahoma, CeeDee Lamb. He decommitted and then committed back. So I'm not. I mean, you can't say that they're officially done, but it's not good, obviously.
Yeah. So we've talked injury report. We've talked a little OU Auburn. We've talked
a little recruiting.
A lot about a lot of things, Jay. Is there something we've missed tonight? Surgeaholics, is there something we've missed that you'd like to cover? Drop it in the chat if so.
Yeah,
how much rain's going to be this week?
Chuck said he's not worried about the D line. That is the one. I mean, that position group looks really good.
I can agree that, Chuck.
They got a lot of young guys. They got a lot of young guys on that group too. And hey, Matt, I don't know who needs to be fired, but I'll say this: talk to me come game 12. If the offense isn't any better, you might just need to clean all of it, clean house.
Hey, I understand Lossman was a first-round pick. Doesn't mean you can coach. And guys, DeMarco Murray played in the NFL. Doesn't mean he can coach necessarily specifically. Like, I've seen a lot of guys who never played who are great coaches, and I've seen guys who have played in high levels and they can't coach. I don't really think that has to do with it.
Hey, Chris, appreciate that. Thanks so much for the super. It means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is Cracker Mass asked this once. I don't really want to get into this tonight, but I'm going to put it up there as a comment. If BV goes 5-7, is his job on the line? Well, his seat would be very hot. Here's the reality, in my opinion. I think BV is going to get another year, but next year would be you would have to have a very good year because I think he's getting another year because it's his first year in the SEC and their defense looks really good, and he's a big part of the defense. But I think he knows it too, that his people are looking at him now and saying, can he do it? Because if you look at the way he's reacting on offense, he's not happy with it. He's already making changes. I think he's going to continue to do that all year.
Yeah. Space, do we have a score prediction? I'm not giving mine yet. I'm still kind of.
I'll give my score prediction.
I'm
you ready
still mulling over my thoughts.
You ready for mine?
Yeah.
13-10.
Who?
I don't know yet. I got 13-10.
And I guess this will be a story for another day then, Jay, because if OU scores 13 points with Michael Hawkins, everyone needs to chill out a little on that.
Why?
If you only now, unless the weather's just awful, 13 points would be bad. They scored 15 against Tennessee, Jay.
Oh, but what tells you it's going to be any different other than Michael Hawkins?
Michael Hawkins.
So he can go out there with a horrible offensive line and a horrible play calling and just tear it up?
Everett's going to be back. They're going to have other guys back, apparently.
Well, we'll see, and I hope that happens. I hope that happens, guys. I'm just, you know what? Here's the reality. Here's the reality of it. I pick games every week, not just OU games. I suck at it. Okay, I'm bad at it. Last week I was 0-3. I'm gonna start picking against OU every week because then maybe they'll win some games that I go against. But hey, here's the thing. After the first game, when they struggled against Temple, I said they're going to put it on in Houston. They're going to put 50 up. They scored 16 points, Jeremy. Then I said they're going to tear it up against Tulane. They didn't do it. Then I said they're going to maybe get it together a little bit more against Tennessee and score 28 and win that game. They didn't do it. So right now I got 13-10. I don't know.
Yeah. Ron always asks if there's storms in Oklahoma. There were yesterday, but we know there's storms going down to Bama and Auburn. Where the game is. So be interesting as we follow the weather. Jay, we need to get a meteorologist on here.
We do. Hey, Burke's
let's
playing.
Work on that.
Burke's playing or not? What? Is Burke's playing or not? If you had to guess.
I think he's going to give it a go.
I think he's going to give it a go, too.
I want to say he's a gamer. I want to say he is, and I think he's going to, Jay. Hey, big shout out to Chris for the super tonight. Big shout out to all of you that are on here. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe, but at least hit the like. Hit the like. It helps us. Comment. Again, I got a little animated tonight. I need to chill out a little, I'm sure.
Hey, real quick.
Gray God, Tatted Sailor, all those Kyla, all those that are in the Discord constantly. It is a blast. I don't ever mute anyone. Sometimes I may leave, but I don't mute anyone. Join up on the Discord. Hey, what do you got, Jay?
Real quick, the whole beard comment, I think I'm shaving it tomorrow, going clean as a whistle.
Let's go mustaches, Jay, just for the
No. I'm not having a mustache. I'll go, I'm going to shave the beard and I'm going clean. I'm hoping to get Mike.
We love Mike Collier.
Love Mike. And Aaron Tuttle. I like both of them. You have my word. I will shave the beard. It'll be gone tomorrow. How you like that?
I'm sure your wife will like it because she probably
doesn't
like
care.
It.
She doesn't
Appreciate
care.
everyone. Hit the like, and we will see everyone tomorrow night. Have a great, terrific Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow night, Surgeaholics. Check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com.